Hey guys, and welcome to the first video of my prep series that I told everyone I was going to do a couple weeks ago. Basically, this is going to be a really short prep comparatively speaking, so things are going to move a little bit faster than they would on my normal preps. We just finished our whole first week of prep a couple days ago, and we are now a little over 8 weeks out from the NPC Nationals. Now, why such a short prep? It really is not optimal, and like I just said, I wouldn't recommend it to a majority of people. But I was already in pretty decent shape because I had just done a show in June and I was prepping for USAs until early July before I got really sick back then. And if anyone follows me on social media, they know that I was recently diagnosed with an autoimmune condition that's been pretty painful over the last couple months, and kind of the driving force for why I wanted to do this prep. The month of August, I was on the couch for most of the month. I was on antibiotics, didn't have much of an appetite, and just didn't find myself being, like my normal self. Training was inconsistent. Diet wasn't necessarily bad, but it wasn't near what it usually is as far as food-wise goes. I was eating maybe 2-3 meals a day. So I'd already lost about 10 pounds leading up into the start of this prep. And then something rolled around a week into September, and I thought, I need to do something to get out of this rut. I need to do something positive with my life to keep moving forward and, prove to myself that I can still enjoy doing what I want to do, even with the pain and everything that was going on. What I was diagnosed with is called hidradenitis suppurativa. I don't truly understand too much about the disease. It's just an inflammatory skin disease that's autoimmune in nature. Basically, I don't fight a certain bacteria. It causes sweat glands to basically form abscesses and then tunnel through my skin. Painful, but we're trying to find ways to control it. I recently came off antibiotics for it because they really weren't helping much. And looking for more natural routes to control the inflammation and deal with the pain, and I'm doing well at that. I'll get into more details of how all that's going later through this prep. But really, for most of this episode, I just want to focus on what is going on in the prep right now. I took a few notes down here, so if you see me looking down, I'm just looking at the notes to make sure I cover everything I wanted to cover. Diet-wise, we're still eating quite a bit, even though I have to weigh under 205 here at the end of the prep to make weight. I'm classic physique, class C, 5'10 to 5'11", so 205 is my cutoff. I started prep a little over 237 in the morning. Just last month before really starting this antibiotic, I was almost 250 again. So I've had a pretty drastic drop in weight already. And since the start of prep, I've dropped another 2 pounds. And really for all this prep, we're gonna need to be losing a little more than 3 pounds a week. So we've increased a few things this week. But last week, the starting macros were about 350 protein, 270 carb, and 60 fat. So I'm still really full throughout the day. Definitely by no means hungry, but things are gonna start dropping quick to kind of get us to where we need to go. Training wise, I'm training 6 days a week, which is actually my normal training split for contest prep. Basically, I'm going chest, back, leg day, quad focus, and then shoulders, arms, and then leg day, glutes and ham focus. Cardio wise, last week we just did 3 fasted cardio sessions at 40 minutes of an incline walk. I can't do any stair steppers or anything too extreme right now because of the pain and the inflammation. And then 2 HIIT sessions on the battle ropes for 15 minutes. Now this week we've already increased that to where I'm doing cardio every day, so 5 of those same fasted sessions and still the 2 HIIT sessions every week. Training right now is intense. I have to keep the intensity up. Heart rate's been increased greatly from what it is in my usual off-season training, and it's progressing really well. So I'm kind of back in my regular swing of things, and training's intense, and I feel good in the gym. It's one of the few times that my mind's able to kind of go off from the pain and everything else going on with the condition I have now. As far as the progress goes, like I said, it's been about 2 pounds down, which needs to increase as we get closer in order to just make weight. But as far as actually body composition goes, my body's responding extremely quickly. And I think it's because I just came out from show shape. I wasn't in bad shape to begin with. And then August, really, I wasn't training much at all. nor was I eating a lot, so my metabolism wasn't being stimulated, or was I doing any cardio? You know, I was doing maybe a 15-minute walk 2 or 3 times a week. So just having this really big jolt at the beginning has changed my body composition pretty drastically. As far as posing goes, I'm posing post-workout pretty much every day I have time. I don't have a client immediately after. I recently started also adding in vacuums every morning. After my fasted cardio, I come home, and before breakfast, I try to do them on an empty stomach. I feel like I get a better vacuum, a better hold that way. I'm just doing little vacuum intervals here at my house. So that I feel like it's gonna help bring in the waist a little bit more. As far as core training goes, I train core. I try to make it every day that I'm on prep. It's nothing intense, and I don't do too much weighted core. If you've seen contest photos of me before, I have pretty blocky abs to begin with. So a lot of body weight exercises. Try to bring in the planks to help, again, bring in the waist a little bit more. And as far as like everything else goes, there's a lot of intensity. So heart rate's just way up through my entire workout. I'm sweating a lot right now, which is good. The pain, even with starting the more intense training and the cardio, really is not much worse than it was a month ago. Last month was the worst I've had it. And since then, kind of timing with this prep, I'm doing an elimination diet to remove foods that might be causing flare-ups. And that's what kind of actually prompted part of this prep, was the fact, well, I'm already kind of on a prep diet, let's jump into it and see what we can make happen. You know, I'm really positive about everything now, and I feel like moving forward, I'm gonna figure more out about my body and how it responds to certain things. And I'm just really interested to see how it's gonna respond on this prep, because getting sick is what stopped me 3 weeks out from USA's after winning the overall championship, the Salt Lake City Championships back in June. I had a lot of momentum going into it, and then I had really bad flare-up of this HS, and then immediately after I came down with a severe sinus infection. And the doctors actually think that part of the driving force for that sinus infection was the fact my body was trying to fight off another infection in the body, which makes perfect sense to me. So I really need to focus on immune health. I'm taking a whole lot of vitamins and minerals to try to keep my immune system at 100%, because I'm not gonna let sickness stop me this time. In case you don't know, the NPC Nationals is in Miami. So I'll be buying a plane ticket to Miami here soon. It's November 16th and 17th, I believe, are the exact dates. And I'm just really excited. You know, this is gonna be the shortest prep I've ever done. I think it's doable. I know it's doable, and I'm gonna push myself to make it happen. I'm really hoping I can, in such a short amount of time, present the package I need to present to do as well as I know I can do on the national stage. But more of this prep is to prove to myself I can still do it and push strong through everything. You know, I've always overcome any physical challenge, mental challenges that ever faced me, and this is nothing more than just another challenge, and I'm gonna overcome it. If I don't get the result I want in November, I still believe I'll place well at the show, and I will choose a national show next spring to really drive and give the full proper 16 weeks into a prep for. If you guys got any questions along the way, you know, you can always just comment down below. I know I don't have too many subscribers yet, but I appreciate the few people that do follow, and hopefully I can get a few more people on and following along this journey with me. I'm staying really positive about everything, and I'm really excited to see what everything's gonna look like at the end of this prep. As far as coaching goes, I'm actually with Team HD now, which is Dorian Hamilton's group out of Canada. Specifically, the coach I'm using from them is Antoine Valiant, I believe is how you pronounce his last name, or I hope it's how you pronounce his last name. But everything's gone great with him. Communication's been awesome, which is the problem I've had with a lot of previous coaches, is communication. So I'm very pleased so far, and he seems to think that we can still make this happen, and just excited to see the outcome. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll get another update posted next week. See ya.